Hi, this is David Luke, Superintendent of Santa Cruz Valley. We're here again with another episode or interview of our Above the Bar for District 35. Today, we are very honored to have Baely Ahumada, which is a 2017 Rio Rico High School graduate. Again, we are trying to recognize current students, staff, faculty, as well as graduates that do things above the bar. So, Baely, why don't you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. I'm Baely Ahumada. As Mr. Verduga said, I'm a 2017 grad. Following graduation, I went to the West Point Prep School here at West Point, New York. And then following that year, I joined the West Point class of 2022.
So you're all the way in New York from Rio Rico. So did you go to school in our district? How long did you go to school? In elementary all the way through, or did you just go to
Yes,
high
sir.
school?
And all the way till I graduated.
So what elementary did you go to?
San Cayetano.
San Cayetano, and then middle school,
I went to Guatimundi.
and then high school. So we're very proud to have you. So as I said, above and beyond, above the bar for us means that people go above and beyond. And for you, taking that challenge to go to one of the most prestigious universities, not only in the country but in the world, um, how did you make that decision?
I knew I always wanted to be in the military. My dad's family has a past of always having joined the Navy. So probably my sophomore year of high school, I started looking into different paths that I could take into the military. And I looked at the Naval Academy through the help of First Sergeant Brown. And I applied for their summer program. And it's a week-long summer experience where you get to actually go to Naval Academy, get to be on the grounds, get to meet cadets and shadow different cadets and just have like a Naval Academy summer experience for a week. So I did that, and I didn't really like it. So it didn't really sit well with me. I thought, you know what, maybe West Point might be a better choice for me. So then my senior year of high school, I applied to West Point.
And so that journey from Rio Rico, and I know one of the things that we always talk about with our students is we want them to leave because we want them to go experience things, and we want them to come back. But it's always very hard to leave your family. So how difficult was it for you to make that decision?
Well, sir, I definitely knew I wanted to leave. So, as difficult as it is, it's very hard being away from family all the time, especially because here I get to go home. Like last year, I went home twice. I went home during Christmas and I went home when they released us in March for quarantine. And the year before that, it's kind of same Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then a week over the summer because we have summer training. So, I definitely don't get to go home as much as I would like. However, I know that this is the right path for me and my family supports me and they would want what I think is best for myself.
Yeah, and that's why I say I think it's hard for a lot of our community to realize, that they can go and experience these things, and it's a really big opportunity for them to grow and be successful. What would you say has been the biggest growth that you've had since you've been at West Point?
Resilience, sir. And I say that because coming from high school to here was a very big shock academically, very big my plebe year. So then it was very difficult to kind of like be able to increase my GPA. And it increased quite a bit my sophomore year here. So just kind of getting into the routine of what the academy expects, the tools I came out of high school with, and being able to find a happy medium and getting any help that I would need in order to achieve my goals of the GPA that I wanted.
So what is your major? Because they have
Portuguese.
what's that?
Portuguese.
Portuguese. Okay. So your plan after West Point is to utilize that because you have to now because you just affirmed. Why don't you share what being affirmed means?
So affirmation after your sophomore year of West Point, you then get this this time frame to kind of decide if you want to stay here or not. You should be thinking about it as soon as you get into West Point because they let you know right away you're going to have to decide to affirm or you decide to leave. So affirmation is pretty much my commitment to say, yes, I'm going to stay at West Point the next 2 years. And upon graduation, I'm going to commission into the Army as a second lieutenant. and then serve 5 years active duty and 3 years in the reserves. And that's a minimum.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I wanted to serve more, I definitely have that option.
Yeah. So your major is Portuguese. So what is the options and plans for you after you graduate and for service?
So we have to go into different branches upon graduation for a second lieutenant. And my goal right now is to go into military intelligence. I definitely want to be studying more languages and being able to help the Army with every talent that I may be able to do. However, I'm thinking right now I want to be able to serve more than 5 years. If I decide that's not the case, regardless, I'm still going to try to get to go to graduate school. And thankfully, the Army pays for graduate school, whether this just be to get a master's, to get a doctorate, if I want to go into law, or even if I want to go into medicine. So they pay for that too.
That's great. So kind of taking, again, I know you researched and decided, that would be an opportunity for you. How difficult was it for you to get into West Point? Because I probably should have asked that at the beginning, because I know, like I said, it's one of the most prestigious universities in the world. So how difficult was it for you to get in?
It was pretty difficult, sir, because you have lots of requirements. The application process itself is very long. You need a nomination from either your senator or congressman to get in. You definitely need really good grades to get in. You need to be a leader at your school. Definitely be doing sports. So you need to be a very well-rounded student in different aspects. So West Point definitely looks at the whole student. So for me, I was on the cross country team, the track team. I wrestled for a while. I swam on my own on a club outside of school. I also volunteered a lot. I got the presidential medals for volunteering. I also was in different clubs. So I was in JROTC. I was also the student body president my senior year and the class president my junior year. So definitely had to look at what West Point wanted, what I was doing, and how I could find a happy medium between those two in order to be able to apply and be a student that they would want to come to their school. Then I didn't get a nomination actually my senior year of high school, which is funny because now our JOTC program has this unit honor distinction program where if Colonel St. Clair decides that he wants someone to be able to apply to the academy, our JROTC program is really well off and he can actually give that nomination to one of the students. So that's really cool. But however, in my year, we didn't have that. So I have to go through the senator and congressman application. And I wasn't able to get a nomination my first year. So everything else was fine. But because I didn't get a nomination, I went 1 year to the prep school. So I actually got scholarships to New Mexico Military Institute to do their a year for preparation. I got an offer from Marion Military Institute in Alabama. And then I also got one from West Point's own preparatory school. They said, hey, come here in a year, you'll be ready to go to West Point. They give nominations there because you're technically enlisted for a year. So then your commanding officer can give you a nomination. However, that year you have to apply again. So then I got a nomination from John McCain and Senator Flake too. So I had 3 nominations under my belt before I actually got into West Point.
Wow, that's great. So it's a very difficult, long process.
Yes, it's very difficult and long process.
Yeah, but it's been worth that long process to get to where you're at now.
Oh yes, I would definitely say it's been worth it, sir.
Yeah. So if you had to, because I know now we have another student that is a plebe there this year. Yeah, and so did you have any contact with him before he decided to make the attempt?
So I actually went to Rio Rico High School probably every year since I've been here, and I've asked Colonel for the opportunity to speak with some of the JROTC students. And I had the opportunity to speak with Jose Chacon a couple times at school. And I mean, I knew who he was. He was in the JROTC program before, and he was only a few years younger than me and a few years older than my little brother, who's currently at the school. So I knew exactly who this person was. We talked a few times because he expressed interest in being able to go to the academy. He's like, I conveyed what the application was like for me, what he needed to do, and he went off and did it, and he got a direct appointment here. So I'm very happy for him. I'm very happy that he's here and this is what he wanted to do.
That's great. So part of it is really, you paving the way for our students and our community to have a way to not only work hard and get there and know that it's possible, but it's great that you are actually going back and talking and to the students and letting them know. So what advice would you give to students that if they wanted to pursue a military academy to be successful, what would you say to them?
My biggest thing that I would convey is know what you want and do it yourself, because if you're trying to navigate things with like other people like wanting this for you, then this isn't really for you, because you have to want and have the initiative to go look at the application yourself, find out what you need to do, ask for help when needed, but know that this is something that you want and that you're willing to put in the work for, because it doesn't get any easier after you get in. You have to want it and you have to just go and do it yourself. So that way, in the end, this is your accomplishment. You can definitely ask for help along the way. However, because of it being an academy and because of the rigors that it has, I would definitely say that you very much need to know what this is about and if this is what you want.
So kind of a different question. So you went to Annapolis and did a time
Oh,
there for, yeah,
sure.
and with the Naval Academy. And so Army Navy, although we're all together one team, Army Navy is kind of like Rio Rico Nogales with rivalry. Was it a big difference that when you went to West Point, we're like, oh, this fits me better?
Yes, and it can either be the personalities of the people that are here, the physical excellence that they strive for here, just all around. I think this was a perfect fit for me.
And so speaking of the physical difference and things that you have to do, because it's not only just the mental and content learning and all that, you have to actually have some physical training. How
Yeah,
difficult is the
it's
physical
actually
training?
our GPA is actually composed of 0.15 physical, zero point 0.6 academic, and zero point 0.3 military. So you definitely have to always be in excellent physical shape all the time. You can't just let yourself go. So that's definitely something that I really enjoy, because I really enjoy being physically fit, and I have loved that ever since I was on the cross country team in middle school. So
So do you have physical training every day? Is that part of your schedule?
so there's different clubs and there's different teams, because this is a D1 school. So there's different teams that people can be on. There's different competitive clubs. West Point has a lot of competitive clubs that people can join. I was actually on the equestrian team for about a year, and then I decided not to do that anymore. However, because I'm no longer like on a club or a team, I do have to still stay physically fit. So West Point has different company teams that you can be on. So you have to definitely be working out on your own. And everyone here really wants to be in the best shape they can be. So everyone strives for that.
Yeah. So you said that while you're there, you have a lot of support from West Point to make sure you're successful. Is there things that you would recommend for Rio Rico High School to implement some things? Because, like I said, we want to be the best, and so is there things that you would recommend that the high school do or our district do to prepare students for rigor, like at West Point?
One thing that I would recommend is we have different like tests that we have to do. We have an obstacle course test that we have to pass. We also have physical fitness tests. And maybe if someone in JOTC is interested, the Army just implemented this new physical fitness test that we also have to take. So maybe having the materials available so that people can be practicing this and getting into shape, because it's 6 different events that they can try to do.
That's so we recently in our district passed a bond, and we're actually going to work with the ROTC program to build a course, and then we're also working on an actual range instead of having to shoot in the classroom where they can't do the prone shooting, and so we're
Right.
excited about expanding that. So, well, thank you for spending some of your Saturday with us, and like I said,
Yeah.
we're very proud of you and representing Rio Rico, our high school, and the entire community, and for going above the bar and setting that example for not only our current students but future students. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir.